Hi everyone. So for today's game, we need some paper and some colours like this. If you don't have them, don't worry. So whoever's watching at the moment, go and get some colours, go and get some paper. If you don't have it, just a pen and paper is perfect. Okay. So I'm just going to wait for you guys to get your drink ready, to get your pen and paper, and then we can start playing some games together. Yeah, that's all you need today: pen, paper, a drink to help you relax and to enjoy it, because it's 5 o'clock. If you want a cup of tea, you can have a cup of tea. If you want to get yourself a spritz or a cocktail or a glass of wine or a beer, whatever, just something to enjoy while you're playing some games with me today. Okay, so pen, paper, if you have it, colours, a drink, and then you just need to relax, enjoy yourself, and have some fun today with me. Okay, so just going to wait for everyone to get ready, log on, join, and then we can begin. So hello to everybody who is joining right now. I was just saying that for today's game, it would be good if you have some colours. If you don't worry. You can use a pen and a paper. You can pour yourself a drink, get ready to enjoy a nice relaxing evening of playing some games. And also, while playing, we'll be training our emotional intelligence. So on the back, on the wall, if you can see, I've got some hashtags that we could use today if you wanted to. So you can use the hashtag emotionsgames. We can use the hashtag #PlayEmotionsGames. And we also have hashtag emotional intelligence. So if you wanted to post your about this event, or you wanted to look for using the hashtag, or you wanted to look for maybe other events that we've done or our posts, you can use these hashtags. We also have the @emotionsgames on Instagram. We have it on Facebook too. So we have hashtag emotional intelligence, hashtag #PlayEmotionsGames, hashtag emotionsgames, and @emotionsgames to find us on Facebook, to find us on Instagram for posts and videos and information on how to train your emotional intelligence. So again, for people who are just logging on and just joining, if you have some paper, some pens, some colours, I have these that I like to use. And if you have anything that you want, crayons, colours, pencils, felt tips, whatever you have, you're more than happy to use them, whatever you feel comfortable with. If you don't have any colours, then don't worry, because you can still use a pen or a piece of paper just to just to write things out. I'll explain it once I explain the game to everybody. Okay, so what we're going to do is the first thing I want to do is present a little bit about myself. So if you weren't tuned in last week at 5 o'clock, what we do is make emotional intelligence accessible to people. Okay, because it's something that's very important to our everyday lives, and it's very important to our relationships that we have in the world. Now, I don't mean relationships necessarily ones that are romantic. Relationships can be also work, professional relationships. They can be relationships that we have with our neighbours, with the world in general, with the environment. So emotional intelligence is something that is very useful for every single one of us to build healthy relationships, including the relationship that we have with ourselves. So the Emotions Games project is there to help people train and better this emotional intelligence in order to have a better, I don't want to say better life, but a healthier and more effective communication. So when we were younger, we actually were taught lots of things about logic and mathematics and lots of things like science, history, and English, which are all really, really important. They are absolutely 100% important. However, we weren't taught about the things that we need in our lives that we use every day. For example, how to communicate with people, how to read other people's body language or the emotions that they are giving us, and the emotions that we are manifesting as well, which is really important to be able to have synergy in your communication. So the idea of our emotional intelligence being trained has only come recently. It's become recent through lots of work being done with psychologists, with lots of people working together with counselors, or the art of mindfulness, for example. So this has really come into the media, into the mainstream. And what Emotions Games does is try to make it even more accessible through play, through games. Okay, so if you remember when we were younger, when we went to school, sort of preschool or kindergarten and these types of schools, we weren't given lots of work to do, but we were given lots of things to play with. And the reason is that when we're that young, obviously, learning happens through play. So Emotions Games takes this concept of learning through play by having a very accessible card game or different card games in order to train your emotional intelligence. Okay, there are just a few people joining in now. So if you're joining us now, do you have your favorite drink with you? If so, wonderful. It could be a cup of tea, wine, beer, gin, whatever suits you. If you have a piece of paper and some colors, that will be useful too. I have my colors here. So you can use absolutely anything you're comfortable with. If you have a piece of paper, I'll explain in a little while exactly what we're going to do with the game. Okay, so that's emotional intelligence. That's what we're going to work on today. Instead, the Emotions Games project is accessible card games and other games. We're also we do events. This is obviously online, but we do events where we can all come together and play Emotions Games together and train your emotional intelligence in order to give us a better and healthier communication style, first starting with ourselves and then with the rest of the world. Okay. These little changes that we make with our emotional intelligence by training and playing our emotional intelligence, these little things make a really big difference in the world in general. So once we start having that relationship with ourselves that's healthy, we can then start spreading outwards and giving a better chance to communicate with the world, with the environment. So even whether we recycle or whether we take care of the car and or whether we walk, these are all parts of the emotional intelligence. So how much do we connect with the environment, the ecology around us also? So if you've got your cup of tea ready, like Brittany, or your glass of wine, I'm going to explain some rules to you guys so you can join in. Now, if you don't have colors and you don't have paper, do not worry. You can still join in, okay? There's no problem. So the first thing I want to ask, have you ever used paint by numbers? So paint by numbers is where you receive like a template, a piece of paper or a canvas where they have the different numbers and each number correlated to a color. So number 1 would probably be white, number 2 black, number 3 green, for example. And you'd fill in each number with this color that was required. And at the end, you got this beautiful picture that was created all through this number and connection. So we're going to do something really similar today. And if you want, at the end of this process, you can use your picture on social media and use our hashtag. So hashtag emotional intelligence, hashtag play emotions games, and hashtag emotions games. You can post them to your profile if you want to. You can also keep them private because it's your work. It's up to you what you want to do with it. And it is your work. It's you taking the precious time now to work on yourself, to better your communication, to have healthier relationship, and to start your journey on the emotional on the path of emotional intelligence. And you're part of my journey and my emotional intelligence as well, because every time we do this exercise, even me doing hosting this game, I'm also working on my emotional intelligence. So thank you everybody also for joining in, and thank you for taking the time out to do this. So I'm going to read the rules to you first. I need everybody to do your very best to just be present. Be now, be in this moment. Don't think. I know that's really difficult. Oh my God, how do I not do that? Just don't think. Whatever comes to you, whatever's the first thing that comes to you that arises, let it come. Don't question it. Don't criticize it. Don't judge it. It's come. Okay, fine, great. It's here. Thanks. And just accept whatever comes. Don't question it, because there is no wrong or right answer. Whatever comes, it comes. It means it was meant to come. It means that this is exactly what is in the moment. Okay? So be present. Don't think. First image that comes into your head. There is no wrong or right answer. Every single one of us is an individual. So every single one of us will have a different outcome with this game. And the beauty of this game also is that you can do this so many times. You can play this game today, tomorrow in the morning, tomorrow in the afternoon, and also tomorrow in the evening. And you may even have a completely different outcome, a complete different thing that surprises you. And that's the beauty of the emotions. Emotions come and go. They come and go into our body, just like water, the cycle of water. It comes and goes, comes and goes, comes and goes. They are there to help us, and the emotional intelligence journey is there to help us understand what to do with these emotions. Now, when we were at school, we weren't taught how to use these emotions. It was left to our parents or families or friends, whoever, our society, to teach us. So you were either lucky or not in having somebody who was already maybe emotionally intelligent. So the idea is that we are working on our emotional intelligence. We're letting the emotions come to us. We're recognizing them. We're communicating with these emotions. And we're living in the moment. We're completely in the here and now. So here, be present. Don't think. Everything that comes to you is valid. Every emotion has a value. Just let it come. We're going to work with the metaphor cards. So Emotions Games has 20 metaphor cards. And today we're going to work with 2 of these metaphors. Okay, so the metaphor we're going to work with today, one is color, and the other is a symbol or a form. Okay. We are also going to work with the emotions cards. Now, there are lots of emotions. We looked last week at the 6 basic emotions. So we looked at anger, sadness, we looked at joy, fear, surprise, and disgust or distaste. Today, we're going to expand our emotional we're going to expand our emotional vocabulary and use all the pack that we have. Now, the pack has 18 emotions that have a blue background. These blue background emotions are demanding emotions. So ones that you need a little bit of work. And then we have these ones in a red type of background, reddy, rainbowy type of background, which are the friendly emotions that in society in general, we are used to being geared towards these emotions. And like, oh, these are the good emotions, but all emotions are good, all emotions have value. And then we have 4 mixed cards here, which can be both demanding and also friendly. So today we're going to work with both of them. The first thing I'd like you to do is take a paper and pen, and I want you to close your eyes, take a big deep breath in and out, and work on the metaphor today, which is right now, in this very moment, if you were a shape, symbol, a figure, whatever, what would you be right now? The first thing that comes into your head, draw it big or small, whatever you see, draw it on your paper. Okay, so take a pen and start drawing whatever you see on your, whatever comes to you, whatever vision comes to you of a geometric shape or symbol. Or anything that comes to your mind, just draw it on your paper. If you want to, use the comments and type in what has come into your head, if you want to share, okay? This is completely up to you. Okay, so that's the first thing we're going to do. The first thing is, what is that image that comes into my mind when I think of a symbol, shape, or a figure? What is it? What comes into my mind? Okay. So if you want to, you can share it. Remember, don't think. Use the first thing that comes into your mind. Don't question what comes into your mind. Don't ask, oh, why, what? Don't. Just let it come, let it come, let it arrive. Okay. Thinking, rationalizing is on the left side of the brain. And we're not working on the left side of the brain today. We're working on the right side of the brain to help us train the emotional intelligence, because the emotions, the creativity, the imagination, all of those things, they come from the right side of the brain, and they need to work with the left side, work well to be balanced. And then that's what helps us to then have an effective and healthy communication in our lives. Okay, so first symbol, first shape, whatever comes into your mind, put it down on your paper, as big and small as you need. Okay, so now what we're going to do is take all these emotions. So all these 3 emotions, I'm going to show you. Just bring that down. Okay, I had all these different emotions. I'm going to put them together and shuffle them. There we go. Okay. I feel like I'm working in Las Vegas here. All right, so we've got some symbols here. We've got a circle, we've got cloud, a circle. So you can see that actually there are 2 people that have the same or similar. We don't know what kind of circle it is, the size, the line, what type of circle it is. We also have a cloud. These are personal. These literally come to you. And they just come to you because that is exactly what needs to come to you. Okay, we're not going to question why or whatever. We have a straight line. We have a straight line. We have 2 circles. We have a cloud. Now, what I'd like you to do is every time I pick an emotion, I want you to tell me about the color that is associated with that emotion in this moment. Don't think about, yeah, well, usually. No, we don't care about usually. Today, we care about now, being in the moment, being in connection with our emotions in this very moment. So I am going to take these 40 cards. I'm going to keep shuffling them, and then I will pull out an emotion, and I want you to associate the color. Okay, are we ready? So the first emotion is solitude. Associate a color with your solitude. Right now, speak to the solitude that is within you. What color are they? Say, hey, what color are you, solitude? Associate that color with the emotion. Now, if you don't have colors, what you can do is on the side of your paper, write the emotion and the color. So you write solitude and the color. So for example, if you're Mario and you don't have colors, what you need to do is write the emotion solitude and next to it, black. If you're Sunita, you put navy blue. Okay, that's all you need to do if you don't have the colors. So right now, in this very moment, if your solitude were a color, it would be, let it come to you. Don't be scared of it. Let it come to you. Let it speak to you. Okay, so if you put your solitude, you can associate the color if you have the colors, and if you don't, you can use the list. Okay, the next one. The next one is impatience. If your impatience was a color, what color would your impatience be? Right now, in this very moment, we're not thinking. There is no right or wrong answer. Whatever answer comes to you, and in whichever language, because we have some viewers here that are Italian speakers and maybe other types of speakers too. Whatever comes to you, let it come to you. Okay? Associate that together on your piece of paper. Think about the intensity. Is it a strong? Is it a light color? Think about the intensity of these emotions too, these colors. So we had solitude, the first one. What color is your solitude? So for people who are just joining us, we're attaching colors with our emotions. So the first one was solitude. The second one is impatience. And now we're going to go with the third one. Are we ready? If your love, if the emotion of love were a color today in this very moment, for you personally, what color would it be? Okay. So we've had some people responding about their impatience, and I notice again that we've got some similar colors happening. So this shows that some emotions can be felt by people in similar ways. And also if you look at some different differences, reds and oranges and grays, it means that people also can feel these emotions in different ways. There is no one way to feel an emotion. There's a very personal way to feel an emotion. Hi, Mara. Welcome. So, Mara, are you playing with us today with some colors? If you are, we're going to attach what color is our solitude, what color is our impatience, and what color is our love. The first thing that comes into your head. Morena says impatience is red. Okay, perfect. So you guys are doing a really good job here. You're letting the colors come to you, that you're letting them speak to you. These emotions are speaking to you and you're allowing them. You're saying, yeah, come on, tell me. Okay, so again, one more emotion here. If today my appreciation were a color, today, what color would it be? First thing that comes to your mind, guys, the first thing. Remember, if you don't have the colors at home, you're just writing the name of the emotion and you're writing the color that's associated with it. Okay, so color for your appreciation in this very moment. You're not thinking about usually or yesterday, or you're thinking now, right now, in this very moment. Morena, love Yellowstone, yellow appreciation. So there's different colors or similar colors for different emotions. Beautiful, guys. Your work is fantastic. It's making me feel very, very happy. So thank you. Okay, we're going to move on to our next emotion. The next emotion is surprise. So if your feeling of surprise in this very moment, right now, were a color, what color would it be? What color is it? Talk to that emotion. Say, hey, what color are you? What color are you? Surprise. What color are you? Talk to the emotions. Let them give you a color. Let them speak to you. So we've got some really interesting feedback here, guys. You're using your emojis. Guys, use emoticons. They're fantastic. This is wonderful. This is a visual image of your emotion also. So this is great. So we have multicolor confetti, gold, green. Wonderful. So surprise can be a really fantastic emotion, both that brings us something that is, let's say, that we look forward to, maybe something that we dread, but it's there, it exists. It comes in different forms, it comes in different colors. We've got lilac or light violet, yeah. So all these different colors. Okay, the next one is, big deep breath, disagio, discomfort. So if your discomfort were a color today, what color would it be? So attach your color, speak to the emotion, see what color it is. Say, hey, discomfort, what color are you today? And this is a really interesting thing. These colors don't necessarily mean that they are always the same. This exercise can be done at home. You can do it any time of day, any moment, with people, without people, in a group, on your own. And you will, I guarantee you will have different results, that you won't always have the same colors for every single emotion, because colors come and go. Emotions come and go, so the colors will come and go and change the intensity. So think about this. So we've got somebody saying light violet. Chiara said light violet. She knows that the color of this violet is light or dark green. She's giving an intensity to the color as well. So we've got somebody, Dennis, saying bright yellow for his surprise. So the intensity as well is also very, very interesting. Okay, remember, don't ask why. Let it happen, let it come to you. There's no reason to ask why. Just let it come to you. Let's communicate. Okay, so the next one. If your nostalgia were a color, what color would it be? What color is your nostalgia? Think about your nostalgia for a moment. Reflect on your nostalgia. Talk to your nostalgia. Focus on it, not think. Remember, I just broke the rules. I just said don't think, and then I used the word think. So I broke the rules. I'm sorry. I'm only human. So reflect, ponder, take a look at your nostalgia and ask nostalgia, what color are you? Let it speak to you. Let it give you some feedback. Rest there with it. Stay there with it. Okay, we've got Alessandra, Trixie Flowers. What a wonderful name. She says her discomfort is grey. We've got fuzzy grey. We've got black and white here. Nostalgia, rosa, pink. Nostalgia, I've got some megaphones, Mario. I don't know what those megaphones represent in terms of colour, sorry. Celeste for nostalgia for Alessandra, which would be, I think, sky blue. Nostalgia pink, light for Chiara. The reason these cards, actually, let me tell you, the reason these cards have two languages is because the project at the moment is started in Italy. It's founded in Italy by Chiara. We also do lots of things in English too. So it's actually a really good way to work on your language skills, your emotional language skills. Okay, so we've got some grey, pink, very light pink. Okay, some good work here, guys. You're really connecting with your emotions. Well done. You're really doing a great job of connecting with these emotions and speaking to them. So, hey, what color are you? And letting that come to you. You're in the present, guys. You are in the moment. You are in the present. So well done. This is exactly what you need to do. Okay, are we ready? If today your confusion were a color, what color would it be? What's the intensity of this color? What's the texture of this color? So what is your confusion today? Speak to it. Say, hey, confusion, what color are you today? What color are you today? If your confusion today, in this very moment, the first color that came to your mind, what would it be? What would your confusion be? So we've got, I think that's a yellowy orange, a yellow? Could be. It could be a yellow. I can't see the color things properly. I think it's a yellow. So somebody said yellow. It's Sanita, or Ishani for Sanita. Confusion, we've got I think it's like a charcoal grey or black, light blue we've got. Okay, wonderful, good, good, good. All right, keep them coming, guys. Keep the comments coming. If you want to, make sure you're writing them down as a legend on your piece of paper. Okay. And now, guys, if today your fear today is a color, what color would it be? Speak to the fear. Ask, what color are you? Speak about the intensity. What color is your fear today? Oh, this is beautiful. Alessandra said confusion is orange with yellow pois, which are a little polka dots. So she's even given it a texture, which is fantastic work. Alessandra, you're really speaking to your emotions. That's awesome. Good work. Well done, everyone. I'm really, really happy to see all these comments and people getting involved and connecting with your emotions, and you're speaking to them. We've got violet here, like a purpley color. Fear. Green. Fear is black. Okay. Alessandra and Chiara, right at the same moment, said that their fear was black. Now, there are similarities. There definitely are. There are also differences, which helps us to understand that every single person feels an emotion differently. They feel it in the way that is personal to them, because emotions are personal. We need these emotions because they help us to communicate with ourselves. They help us to understand what's going on. And we need to learn to take the first steps here on this emotional journey together, is saying, hey, what is this emotion? What color is this emotion? Giving it a color, visualizing it, helps us also to make it something that we can see. And then, as they say, seeing is believing, in a sense. So you think, yeah, okay, this is the color. And you can connect with it better when you start visualizing things. So the metaphors are really good for this kind of exercise. Okay. They help you to really make it something that you can touch. It becomes tangible to you. Okay. All right. So we're going to move on. Oh, we've got Brittany here. She said her fear is a dark blue. Okay. Very, very good. Okay. So the next one. If today your vulnerability were a color, what color would that vulnerability be? Remember, don't think about it. Use the first colors that come into your mind. Speak to the vulnerability. Say, hey, vulnerability, what color are you? What color are you? And remember, there is no wrong or right answer. There isn't anybody that says that this is the color it should be. Not at all. Not at all. There are some, let's say, social ideas about what certain colors are. So I think if you look at the language in English, when you're feeling sad, you can say I'm feeling blue. So people generally associate those kind of colors with that type of emotion, but that doesn't mean that there is only that color associated with that emotion. What it means is, in general, we use that color to describe it, but each person then has their individual interpretation. Okay, we've got Alessandra here who said fear is fango. Fango is mud, that muddy browny color. Okay, vulnerability from Chiara is white. Okay, white is a color. Vulnerability is white. Perfect. Navy blue we have. Okay, good work. You're really connecting with the emotions, guys. You're doing a really good job. Well done. This is great work. Keep them coming. Keep putting them onto your paper as well. That's really important because that's your personal work as well. We've got light pink for vulnerability. Okay, good work. So if I show you what this visual representation would be, so like a light pink, a navy blue. I don't have a white. We know what white looks like, but already you can see. So we have vulnerability, and we already have these different colors. I don't know if that's going to be a great visualization. It's a light pink. So it already shows you exactly that people have a different way of relating to that image of their emotion, like whatever comes into their mind. Okay, Here we go. Oh, I just mentioned it. And here it is, sadness. So what color is your sadness? What color is your sadness today? So Brittany has just pointed out that her vulnerability is light pink too. There was a connection. That's beautiful, guys. And this is a really, really wonderful exercise. So let's look at sadness now, quickly, guys. First thing that comes into your mind. I say quick because I don't want you to think and reflect on it. I just want you to, whatever's in your head, whatever comes out, the first thing that happened when you saw sadness and color, what color was that sadness? So, I mean, the connection that Brittany and Alessandra had here also shows that when you do feel an emotion, maybe in a similar way, you already have a point of connection. You already have a point where you can meet, and that can then help you with efficient and effective communication. Where there is a difference, there's also the idea of we can't push away something that's different. You have to learn to say, okay, what can I do in order to communicate with this difference? Is it an acceptance? And say, okay, well, that's how you feel, and that's your emotion. And accept that person for that emotion and the way they feel that emotion. Or is there a way of trying to get these two different colors to communicate with each other? So this is a really good thing that just came out of Alexandra and Brittany's communication there. They connected because they have the same color for a certain emotion. Beautiful. All right, guys, this is the last one now. This is the very last one. Okay, are you ready? If your color today if your anger today were a color, what color would it be? Don't think about your anger usually. Think about right now, in this very moment, what color is your anger? Speak to your anger. Ask your anger, hey, what color are you? What color is your anger right now in this very moment? Speak to it, communicate, ask it, hey, what color are you? Let it come to you. Don't think. Allow it to come to you. Let it flow. The first thing that comes into your mind. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do, we've got Anita, hi, who is saying that it's red. Sadness, giallo spento, a yellow, a very sort of dull yellow for Alessandra. Okay. Now, what I want to do is show all the emotions together. So I'm going to just lower this. Alessandra again, anger, deep red. Fantastic. You're connecting with them. Chiara, anger, red. So red seems to be a bit of a similar theme for this anger. So can you see these emotions? I know there might be a bit of maybe a problem with the light. Okay. Let's see if we can see all of them in some way. So let's see if this works. So today we worked with impatience. Oh, I've lost one. Okay, well that was the last one, which was anger. Just give me a minute, guys. Recover this. Okay, so let's see if I can make this work. So here are all the emotions that we looked at today. And this is just today. They were selected at random through the pack of 18 emotions that are demanding, 18 that are friendly, and the 4 that are mixed emotions. So if we look here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 emotions that were taken at random, which are demanding emotions. 1, 2, 3 that were friendly emotions, and 1, 2, 3 in the middle emotions. They're called mixed emotions. They can be friendly and they can also be demanding. Okay, so these are all the emotions that we looked at today, and we looked at them through the metaphor of color. So what everybody did, the first thing they did was actually take the metaphor of a symbol and shape and represented themselves on their piece of paper as a symbol or shape. The second exercise that we did is then say, hey, what color are the emotions that were selected at random here today? Now the fun really begins, okay? So take a sip of your wine, your gin, cup of tea, whatever you have in front of you. I want you to take that symbol that you drew, the shape, the image, the picture, whatever it is that you drew on your piece of paper, the circle, the straight line, I want you now to use these colors, these emotions, and I want you to color yourself, this representation of you, using these colors. Now think about the intensity, think about the size, the shape, how much of this emotion is in that representation of you. There is no right or wrong answer, remember guys, there is no right or wrong answer. Whatever comes to you, comes to you. So what I'd like you to do is, while I'm speaking, look at these emotions and put them into your representation, your symbol, whatever it is that you have used to represent as yourself today. If you don't have colors, remember I said to draw the legend with the name of the emotion and the color. Okay, what you can do in that moment is, just like paint by numbers, separate your drawing into different excuse me, different sections. Oh dear, I've got a frog in my throat. Into different sections, and write the name of the emotion and the color that it represents. Okay, so let me give you an example. So if I don't have the colors at home and I want to get rid of this frog in my throat, I draw, let's say for example, I feel like an hourglass right now, so I'm gonna draw that kind of shape. Okay, so if that was my shape, and I want to section off pieces, I can do it like that and write green, for example, for amore, love. Don't know why I've written Italian. That's interesting. Green, like that. You can do then orange for fear, for example. So if you don't have the colors at home, just do this kind of exercise, because what we're trying to do is just get a visual representation of these emotions and us in this very moment. And this is really important. It's us right now in this very moment. So very quick review again. We had anger, sadness, vulnerability, fear, confusion, nostalgia, discomfort, surprise, appreciation, love, solitude, and impatience. So you should have 12 different emotions now. And I would like you to use those to represent yourself today in this very moment. Now, there are loads of other emotions. I mean, this is just the pack that we have here. There are so many other emotions. So you could do this again and again and again and again in continuation, and you will have a very colorful picture, or not. It depends. It really does depend on you and your representation, how those emotions are speaking to you. So once you've done that and you've filled in this beautiful representation of yourself, you can do this. You can keep it. You can put the date on it. You can put the time on it. And that will give you a representation of how you, in that moment, on that day, were with these emotions. Okay. If you want to, you can post them on your social media. You can post them to the Emotions Games group. You can post them wherever you want, and you can use these hashtags. So you can use hashtag emotional intelligence, hashtag play emotions games, hashtag emotions games, and then you can put them on the @emotions games page on Instagram, or you could do this on Facebook, wherever you want to. You can also share it in the Bridges of Light group as well. Okay. Now, what I would like to recommend to you is actually to play this game often, because it's a really easy, accessible way just to connect with your emotions. You can play on your own. You can play on your own one day and you'll see that there are different results. You can play it with friends, and it's a really good way actually to play maybe after dinner, you finish, what do? Play emotions games. Play a game that is simple as this, and you'll see maybe in a relationship, whether it's a romantic relationship or a relationship with father, son, daughter, mother, cousin, sister, aunt, co-worker, whoever. It's an emotional intelligence exercise that you can do anywhere and everywhere. Okay. If you don't have the emotions games at home, okay, don't worry. You can still play the game with us. We can give you the emotions. For example, you can watch this back and use these emotions, or if you know other emotions, you can use those. Or if you want to get in contact with us to find out more about how you can get your hands on these emotions cards and these metaphor cards, you can write to us in the Emotions Games group. You can get in contact with us on Instagram. You can get connected and see, how can I get my hands on these cards, and how can I want to say repeat. How can I repeat this game again and train my emotional intelligence, even when you're not logged on with us? Because the idea is that training emotional intelligence doesn't have to necessarily always be connected with another person, school, for example. When you learnt mathematics, you learnt it from your teacher, then you went out in the world and used it. I can't do math, so I didn't learn it very well, but the idea is you become independent. So what do we do as emotions games? We come here, we show you how to play these emotions games, we show you the use of our emotions, we show you ways that you can train your emotional intelligence for you to then be able to go out independently into the world with these cards, for example, and start training your own emotional intelligence. Okay, so if you guys have finished and you want to start posting your photos, please do. That's no problem at all. But let's do a quick wrap up to explain exactly what we did today. Okay, so we trained our emotional intelligence today. Every single one of us, including myself, today, working with you, trained our emotional intelligence. And we did that by looking at the metaphors and accessing the right side of our brain. Remember, the right side of the brain is there for our creativity, our imagination, our emotions. And this is one of the things that was extremely, let's say, left out, not concentrated on when we were kids, when we were at school. Maybe if we were lucky, for example, I think I was really lucky in my house, and I feel very privileged for how I was brought up, because I was able to connect with my emotions very easily. I was given space to do that, and that was really important to me. So if you haven't been lucky enough to have that, and you do feel that you need and want this is a really easy, accessible way to do it. And we could just play a game like we did today. The really wonderful thing actually about these cards also is that they come with a QR code that you can scan a manual to see other games that you can play. So we trained our emotional intelligence by using metaphors. We visualized our emotions using a color to help it become tangible, to help it come into the world and say, oh, this is my anger. Oh, this is my vulnerability. We also looked at a shape as a metaphor and said, how do I represent myself today as a shape? What was the first thing that came into our mind? We also learned that it's best not to question, hey, why? But it's just saying, okay, what are you? What's your shape? What's your size? At least being able to recognize right from the very beginning that emotion, that feeling, that connection that we can have with it. So we start recognizing what it is and then speaking to it. Okay. We also saw something really wonderful, is that each person has an individual feeling and connection with these emotions. We have some people that connected straight away. And we have some people, for example, who had similar emotions. So somebody said their anger was red, another person said their anger was red, somebody used a different color like pink, and then somebody said, oh my God, mine's pink too. So what does that show us? That emotions are individual and they are different, but it could also be something that can help us connect, which can help then create more healthy relationships. So if we can recognize that somebody feels an emotion differently, but also that another person could feel an emotion similarly, it can already take us on let's say, on one more step towards being able to communicate with them in a healthier way. Okay. We also looked at the fact that we're not going to sit there and think about loads of things and stay on the left side, but it's going to be on the right side where we need to train our emotional intelligence that can then help the left side. So this rationality, actually, the rationality is on the left. Yep, we're on the right. So the rationality needs the right side together. They need to work together. Okay. I think when we look at a situation and we say to the person, well, I wouldn't have done that. I wouldn't feel that. I would feel this. It's really important there to understand, yeah, you wouldn't feel that, but that person did feel that, and it's valid. And that's what's really important about these types of games as well. They help us to understand, hey, all emotions are valid. All emotions come with us. You know, they come, they go, they have their purpose, they have their value. So we need to start embracing that. Okay. If we look at it in a social context, look at the environment around us, look at the people around us, connecting with these emotions can also help us become much more efficient communicators, increase our empathy, and get into connection with the world, basically. So it's all to do with connecting first with ourselves, recognizing these emotions, understanding these emotions, and then moving out into the world, spreading out this emotional intelligence and this healthy communication out there in the world. Okay, so I want to say thank you to every single person that connected, whether you contributed on the comments or you didn't. Absolutely. Thank you so much for getting connected with me. Thank you very much for participating. Time is precious, and you decided to spend an hour of your precious time with me, and I am so grateful for that. I'm very grateful that you are all on my emotional intelligence journey, and I could be part of yours and you can be part of mine in this reciprocal exchange that always happens. So thank you so much for allowing me to show you how to play these games. I'll be here again on Sunday at 5 p.m. To play another game, and we're going to look at a different type of metaphor. And then I also want to say that if you're Italian and you want to play these games in Italian online, you can do them with Chiara every Tuesday at 2 p.m. again from Bridges of Light. Okay, so don't forget, every Sunday I'm here. If you want information about the cards, the emotions cards and the metaphor cards, just get in touch. We are here. We've got all the info that you need. If you have any questions about what we did today, if you have any questions about myself, get in contact, get in touch. And I really look forward to being here again with you next Sunday, 5 p.m. Again, it's 5 p.m. guys. So if it's tea time, bring your tea. If it's wine o'clock, if it's spritz o'clock, whatever clock it is, come, bring your drinks, have fun, and let's take another step on this beautiful, wonderful, amazing intelligence journey, emotional intelligence journey together. So thank you very much, everybody, and I will see you next time. Also, this will be posted on the Bridges of Light page. It will also be posted on our Emotions Games page. So if you want to review it because you didn't see it all, it's always going to be there. Okay? So have a wonderful evening, guys, and I look forward to seeing you again on Sunday. Bye, guys. Thank you.